Hey, what's up, guys? Paco here, and welcome back to a new episode of Trading with Paco. Today, I wanted to bring to you guys a new episode on a topic which we covered in school, individuals and societies in that class, and I thought it would be very interesting for a video for this channel. Also, discussing with my viewers, I realized that I've made the last two videos on trading methods, so I thought that would be nice to bring some variety on the channel. Of course, if you have any suggestions, down below there's a comment section. Feel free to comment. Any feedback, I always appreciate it. And if you just want to leave a positive remark, I always really enjoy it. And they motivate me to produce weekly videos. Well, before we start, as I said, like, comment, and of course, subscribe to the channel if you like this type of content. Turn on the notifications because I will be releasing videos every Sunday. Well, without further ado, let's get right into it. Today's video will be on distribution of wealth. Distribution of wealth has become really a hot topic, we can say, in more recent times, because in the last 20 years there's really been very fast, we can say, technological innovation, and also thanks to the World Wide Web, the world has generally become more globalized. We feel the effects of globalization in an everyday life, but we also have these effects in the economical world, which is what I will be talking about today. I will also be covering the types of poverty because I believe that it's something very important to understand, and you need that in order to understand the concepts that I want to cover in this video. So when we're talking about the types of poverty, there are two types of poverty which are very important to understand: absolute poverty and relative poverty. Absolute poverty is the worst type of poverty, and many refer to it as extreme poverty. It's the condition to not having the means to meet basic needs such as food, water, and healthcare in some countries. So many people are actually affected by absolute poverty, even in very developed countries, which is very, very bad. And in fact, even the United Nations have started to classify these people, which have been classified as people that live by under $1.90 per day, which is very, very little if we think about the price of shelter, so a house, food, of course, and even our other basic needs, such as water, as I said. Then we have relative poverty, which is simply defined by people who are poor in comparison to others in a particular societies. From this definition, you immediately understand that this is a lot more common also in developed countries because of the poor distribution of wealth in those countries, which is what I will cover later in this video. Well, this doesn't only happen in developed countries, this also happens in a more poorer country. However, it's a lot more severe in these smaller countries because in more developed countries, the government can actually help these people who live in a situation of relative poverty, which is obviously good. However, this does not always solve the problem because of the poor distribution of wealth, which unluckily is a problem that we have been dealing with for almost 100. You have actual proof of the impacts of poverty on people when we actually turn on the news and look maybe in big cities such as Rome, where they have camps where poor people live. Also problems in even bigger cities such as London, where some people are forced to live in the streets because they cannot afford a house. So the question is almost natural. How is it possible that in the same society we have multi-billionaires and people that are this poor that they can't even afford their basic needs? Well, this is a problem that our system in general, our economical systems, have always been encountering. There's always been debates on distribution of wealth in our system because some say that people are richer than others because they work hard or because they're willing to work others, while others say that this is completely false, these are lies, and the problem is the system itself, which basically makes it so that people who are rich get richer and people who are poor get even poorer and have no opportunity to actually make money. Well, is it fair? Well, I will not share my opinion in this video because I believe that it will just take up the entire time by itself. This could be an idea for a possible next video. If you guys have an opinion though, feel free to drop it down in the comments because we could possibly compare them in a future video. This could make a very interesting piece of content. We could even in another video, we could be debating for hours on this topic because many have even before I was even born. But if we stick to the fact, we have to acknowledge that we went from having rich people around the world. So, for example, you have some rich people in Austria, France, Germany, Italy, etc., to having a few elites, which are actually way above anyone else anywhere around the world. And is this fair? And what is the impact on this? Will these people become demigods, which will be even above the state and the country? Well, this might sound like a George Orwell dystopia, but it could actually be a possibility in the future. We cannot exclude everything. I think that's something that the past has told us, even in more recent times, is that with the developing technology and how the world is changing so quickly, everything is possible. If it's possible that we land on Mars, it's also possible that these people could take over. An example could be even right now, very recent news where Twitter just blocked Trump from its social media. Well, if we look at it from a perspective of what Mr. Trump said, I think that it's not necessarily a bad idea, and I don't want again to start sharing opinions. But of course, what he was doing was very wrong, also against democracy. So it could possibly be a good idea. But what I really want to make you guys reflect on is the power that these people will have. For example, the person that owns Twitter is Jack Dorsey, which has a net worth, sorry, of 5.1 billion roughly. This man is of course very rich and very powerful. So powerful that he could even block the social media of the president of one of the most powerful countries, if not the most powerful countries in the world. Now, I will not, again, I don't want to go start talking about if this was right or wrong now, because it's of course another topic. But what I really want to make you guys reflect on is how distribution of wealth is very important, because if we keep going like this, it is possible that we will have people who could be above the law internationally. And this is something that I wouldn't want to make you guys worry about now, but it's definitely something to keep in consideration as we move on in the future. So the big question to ask now is, what's going to happen really in the future? How can we distribute wealth more so that we can not only reduce poverty rates around the world, but also make these people less powerful so that they cannot actually become above the law? So now I know that this video has taken a very dystopian turn, but it's something really that I wanted to reflect on, and also want you guys to reflect on. Maybe not even on the comment section, just in your brains, but it's important to think about this, because in the future this could actually be a very big problem. So it's important to act now, just like, for example, global warming. We are now come to the end of today's episode, and I know that it took very dark turns, but personally I really like doing these types of episodes because I think it's important to reflect on things that happen right now, that are important now, but that could also affect our future. Well, as I've said countless times before, remember that if you have any feedback in general on my videos, you can comment it down in the comment section below. I really appreciate comments, both constructive criticism or just things that you really enjoyed. If you did like the video though, feel free to drop a like down below. And of course, turn on notifications, because this series will continue. I have come very far, and I'm personally really enjoying making these videos. I'm happy that you guys enjoy them too, as I can see from the like rates. And yes, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.